Hey everyone, Nick Engvall here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you about some of the people that make the sneaker history community and this podcast possible. It's more important than ever to think about who you give your money to when you're buying clothing to go with your kicks. Our friends at Guilty Goods started their brand with a goal of giving back, especially to the communities that make sneaker culture possible. With every purchase from Guilty Goods, at least 10% of the proceeds are donated to organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Movement for Black Lives, and many more. You can save 30% on your order by using the code HISTORY at guiltygoods.us. Again, that's history at guiltygoods.us for 30% off, and you can feel good about your purchase knowing you're supporting a meaningful cause. Sneakers are all about presentation, and if you're like me, displaying your kicks at home or in the office is just as important as when they're on your feet. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase the entire side of the shoe, not just the heel or the toe, the whole shoe. They've also got display cases for trading card collectors and hat collectors. To me, it's the perfect way to display your collection. You can save at least 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY at sneakerthrone.com. That's history at sneakerthrone.com. If you're a Patreon supporter or a member of our Discord community, you already know about Kicks with V hot sauce and his small batch, locally sourced hot sauce. V has been one of the biggest supporters of sneaker history and the podcast since the early days. He's currently the defending champion in our community trivia nights competition. Kicks with V hot sauce has been a huge hit with the community. You can save 10% on your order by using the code SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. That's SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. Now, you're probably here because you like sneakers, and if you join the Discord, you know our community is about so much more than that. Whether it's the marathon-like community calls, trivia night debates, the in-person meetups, or just sharing our favorite experiences, we found that although we have such different backgrounds, we all have some unexpected shared passions. Not only does the entire community look out for each other when it comes to releases, we're like a support group for life in general. You can join the Discord community for free by heading to the show notes of this episode. After you're done listening to this episode, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Now let's get into today's episode. What up, what up? Welcome back to the Sneaker History Podcast. Hey, before we get into this episode, I wanted to tell you about a couple of our partners. These are some of the folks that help us keep the podcast going, and they've been nice enough to offer some exclusive discounts for our listeners. Now, if you've watched us on YouTube, you all know how we love to display our kicks when we're not rocking them. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase your entire shoe, not just the heel, not just the toe, shoe trees, a number of other sneaker-related accessories. You can save 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY. You can find a link to Sneaker Throne in the description, or you can just head to sneakerhistory.com/sneakerthrone and it will send you directly to their site. Again, that's 10% off with the code HISTORY. Our friends at Prospect are the premier streetwear brand and sneaker boutique based in sunny San Diego, California. One of my favorite places. Prospect is not your typical hypebeast haven, though. They carry classic footwear from brands like Asics, New Balance, Puma, Saucony, as well as local and globally known streetwear brands like Belief, Illust, Rottweiler, Stussy, and many others. Not to mention their own Prospect label and the iconic Just a Kid from Dago collection. If you're a listener of the podcast, you can save 10% on all of your orders from Prospect through their website with the code HISTORY10. That's promo code HISTORY10 at PRSPCTSD.com. If you or someone you know is interested in sponsoring the podcast or becoming a partner with our community, get in touch with us. You can reach us by email at podcast@sneakerhistory.com, and we'll get back to you with information about how we can partner. And now for today's episode.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move!
LeBron James with no regard for human life. 12 seconds. Bryant for the win.
Iverson against Gill. The crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast.
How's everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of the Sneaker History Podcast. I'm Robbie, chilling here with my man, Brennan Nichols, and we're about to have a great interview episode. Brennan, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. It's almost Friday, so I'm happy to be here. Good way to end my Thursday. Yeah, for sure.
Man, and it's been a big transitional period for you, and we're going to go more into that. So definitely a long week. I'm sure a lot of people in the past week have probably had a long 5 to 6 days. So if you're here with us, thank you for tuning in. We're going to cover Brennan's story in sneakers. You've had a couple different roles in the game, and what made my ear perk up when I first saw you and started talking to you is you do stuff that everybody uses in sneakers or sees or interacts with or is around, but might not think of it as a role or something they could do. I like to have people on in interviews that can stimulate people's brain to think, I can do more than just take pictures of shoes and try to get influencer money. I can do more than just be a designer. I can do more than just be the athlete. There's a ton of people in the network of sneakers that make what we love move. And I think you play a key role in that and your past experiences. So I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to pass over to you. Let's start off with just, who you are and what got you into sneakers.
Yeah, of course, my name is Brennan Nichols from Chicago. Currently, I am a product owner of team sports at Adidas. Just last week, I was the site operation engineer at Foot Locker, which really people ask what that is. It's pretty much when you go to a website, anything will stop you from adding to cart. I fix that. So I'm also part of all the launches, like the Yeezy launches, the Jordan launches, the Dunk launches, pretty much anything that's atomic or a hot launch. I help set it up. I help launch it. I help control traffic so the sites won't crash. So that was my role at Foot Locker. Now at Adidas, I'm on team sports. So we relaunching the locker room and my team. Pretty much, as you know, Adidas is mostly a very sports-driven company. Mm-hmm. So my new role will help relaunch for 2022. You have a good look. Everything you can do in 4 sites, we're going to try to put in one site to give it more of a user-friendly look and feel and go with the 5-year plan of being more digital-based and more hype beast, they would like to say. Like they like to compete with the other company in Portland with the check and just to get more leverage in the industry.
Fantastic.
I got my start in sneakers actually in college. I was an intern at a sneaker boutique called Self-Conscious, and I was hired for marketing and special events. And that's where I got my love for sneakers, love to interaction, love with just the culture. I created something called like First Fridays and Second Saturdays. So pretty much on Fridays from like 10 to midnight, I have a party, DJ, food, drinks, and then those 2 hours, everything's half off. And me and my team made more money for the stores that they did all day. So
half off and you get drink. Is this in Chicago?
Yeah, it was in the West Loop of Chicago. This is probably 13 years ago.
That's a 13-year-old deal to get half off and drinks. Like, damn.
Yeah. So like it was a test. I asked, give me 1 month and see if it works. And then that first one, me and my team made so much money for the store that we got weekly. We got a monthly. Then we had 2 stores. We did a first Friday. Then we did the second Saturday. Same deal. Fridays on night, Saturdays during the day. And we cashed out and made a lot of money. And then from there, I asked for a job in the boutique, and I got a job. And then from there, I got a job. And then I was in the school of business, so like I love sneakers, but also wanted to do something with business. So I had an opportunity with the Bulls. Funny that you got the shirt on, and I did on the social impact side of the Bulls, like the volunteering and the charity side of it. So while in college, I was working at a sneaker shop, also working for the Bulls until I graduated. So that's how I got my start in sneakers. It's pretty much.
Where's your alma mater while we're on the topipic?
UIC, University of Chicago. So pretty good business college. So in school, like I didn't know like I know now. There's so many different revenues and different streams of income and sneakers. I just thought that if you're business, you got to be accounting, or you got to start your business, or you got to be IT. I didn't know. And my major was entrepreneurship, which combines all the different majors from accounting to marketing to management to IT to finance. And so my first job out of college was actually at the Chicago Urban League. So with the Chicago Urban League, I had a 13-week internship that I created one big conference, like 25,000 people. That was my whole internship, just 13 weeks to get up to the last week. And then that was it. So after I got done with that, I was like, I'm going to go back to my roots. I started throwing parties. So at 22, 23 years old, I was doing one party a week, and I was making like $1,000 in cash. So at that age, I'm like, why get a job if I'm making $1,000 in cash? I only got to work a couple hours. But my mom just retired from Bank of America after like 27 years. Like, I didn't pay for you to go to school to throw parties, so go get a job. So I went to get a job, and I worked as a financial strategist for Mass Mutual. Hated it. Had to shave my face, had to wear a suit every day. And when you winning, you winning. When you losing, you just a number to them. And I like that feeling of just being a number. So I said, maybe I should go back to tech. So my first job in tech was not in sneakers. It was actually at this company that created software for like stores like Family Dollar or Kmart to
retail stores.
Yeah, retail to put in requests to get like a roof leak fix or plumbing things. So that was cool. That's how I got my start in tech. Fast forward a few years, a couple tech jobs here and there. I got an opportunity with Google. So Google's really will launch me and start getting me noticed by a lot of companies because it's Google. Mm-hmm. So I had a 2-year contract with Google. Then after that, go back to my entrepreneurship roots. I helped open up a restaurant, and it was very successful. So I helped that open. Once that got open, I said, okay, now I think I'm ready to take my shot and get in the sneaker industry because I have the experience. I know how to build anything up. Because I built a restaurant literally from the ground up. So I found an agency that recruits for Foot Locker. I had a good interview, met the boss, and pretty much the golden question, why should I choose you over everyone else? I said, well, I might lack engineering experience, but I guarantee no one will come in this office and know about sneakers than me. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I live it. I'm the customer, so I know what the customer wants. So give me an opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. So he gave me a shot, and that was in like 2018. So from 2018 to last Friday, I was working at Foot Locker. Then I got presented an opportunity with Adidas, and here I am.
And here we are.
Yeah.
So I can think of almost 5 different industries in that journey there. And what it all comes down to, and I'm sure we see the Instagram posts of like Samuel Jackson didn't start making it big till he was, later in life, and people don't start changing and making the moves they want to make until later in life. You weren't even later in life, but the point of that statement is it's never too late. It can be early, you can maybe be fresh in a career, and you're unhappy and you just make a pivot. It could be later in a career, but don't let anything weigh you down. You said you didn't like feeling like a number, and I'm sure there's somebody out here listening who feels like a number right now and who loves sneakers and maybe has the background or doesn't have the background but has the drive and can kind of make moves happen like you did. So you're in Chicago. You just said that you've always had the love for sneakers. You're passionate about it organically in your interview with Foot Locker. Yeah. What's the shoe that got you into it? I'm guessing it's something Bulls related, but I'm guessing.
I mean, the Grail sneakers, I was going to be the Jordan 1 with the black toe. But the shoe that I love just like the story of it. I love the way it looks. It probably have to be Air Max 95 Neon.
Okay.
So I remember in 95 when it came out, and I'm like, damn, this shoe's look. I don't know what's wrong. I was probably a little kid. Like, this shoe's kind of, I don't know what I said at the time. It's sexy, right? It's like, it got the green, it got the neon highlighter popping, and then it's just a cool looking shoe. And it aged, 25 years later, 20 years later, it still looks the same. It's a great shoe.
It's still a good enough shoe to probably have enough traffic on that Foot Locker site to boggle it down a little bit when that drop happened.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
What's wild to me, and I'm sure what a listener or two might be thinking right now is, all right, well, I hear nothing but bot bullshit and like sneaker news and all this stuff. So what does the site engineer do to, you're not the police, you can't combat bots like that, but what do you do in the sneaker drop process to have it go as smoothly as possible?
Yeah, that's a good question. One thing we can do is control traffic. We have different tools that we use to, when it launches, we have zero traffic open, right? So as we see zero traffic, we open it to 1%, then 5%. And that allows, all about it is it's like a robot, and it goes over and over trying to get pairs. So if we control traffic, really shut the site down without crashing it, it can't get in. You can't really control bots, to be honest. Only thing you can do is respond to them, because once you control one bot, another bot's going to pop up. So it's ever changing. It's like one of those things that
it's like cancer.
Yeah, like you think you got it and it pops back up. Yeah,
but I don't think people understand, and I get frustrated too sometimes. You're on the Adidas launch, you're on footlocker.com, you're wherever you are, and you can't get in. You're just like, oh, damn it, everything sucks. But like you probably have first hand insight of just how many people are trying to access that website at one time and buy a shoe. So it's like,
yeah, they
do the best they can. They, as in retailers and brands, but it's like when there's a billion people trying to buy X amount of things, it is what it is. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah, it's different dashboards we can look at and to see the traffic. I think the craziest one I seen was like in one minute span of like 2.8 clicks. I mean, like 2.8 million at the same time. And then we have a lot of pairs, but like if it's like a Jordan or a Yeezy, like Foot Locker is not like it's not his own brand. You take everybody else's brand and we sell it for him. So if Nike's mad at us, they might only send us like 1,000 pair of Jordans that's coming instead of 10,000. So that's even like 2 million people for 1,000 pair. Of course it's going to crash or try to crash. Same for Yeezys. And we was at Adidas, and they pick and choose what Yeezys sent to Foot Locker because sometimes they stingy, sometimes, they just don't want them. So
no, definitely
different. Yeah.
I am a former, and one of our other co-hosts, we're both former Foot employees. I think he used to work at Foot Action and our champs, and I used to work at a House of Hoops. So it's like, yeah, the stock can be so different, and that's just a store. Yeah. You're trying to service an online community of 2.4 million plus people, and it's bananas.
It is.
How did that skill, it may not be directly transferable, but how did that experience at Foot Locker prepare you for what you're going to be doing with team sports now and with Adidas?
It's still launches. It's just different.
Okay.
Team sports is more calm and it's more custom because my role will work with anyone outside of pros, so like the amateurs, the rec leagues, the things that you want your uniform made by Adidas, but you're not going pro. It's the people that really like the summer leagues or the people that's very serious about the sport, but it's just not a pro. So they'll come to us and they want a custom Adidas soccer outfit with the shoes, with the hat, with the whole get up. And we'll price it out, make it custom, and launch it. So I'm excited for it. Like we relaunching the whole concept of what we're doing. Because before you just go, you click, and then you just pick whatever. But now it's being more of a custom feel to it. And I'll help out with building some tools that you'll go to and build out what you want. And then once it gets to us, we'll make sure that it's as sexy as possible.
So I could, in theory, start a sneaker history basketball team and just be totally 3-striped out.
Yeah.
Proper.
Yeah. Because since Adidas is German based, of course, Germany based. The UK is going to be heavy in it because soccer, aka football, is heavy.
Football world over there.
Yeah, it's over there. So of course that's like the bread and butter. But of course the US, if you want like the sneaker history, like baseball team or whatever team, yeah. Please let me know. It'd be my special project.
That'd be sick. I mean, it just sounds like, this, my Adidas just on crack. Like this really go crazy and kind of have a whole kit would be insane. With the Olympics going on right now and all these team sports, thinking about Europe, that would, the presence of being based in Europe and the soccer / football culture in that part of the world, that's a really smart business to bring back. Yeah. I like that move.
Looking forward to, yeah. And then on both sides, they still own Reebok and Adidas making a lot of moves, picking up. Like they got like Kirby is over creative design there, and they still got Frank the Butcher that's over storytelling, which I think is pretty dope on the Reebok side.
No, definitely is. So speaking of this dope storytelling, you pulled out a shoe before we started talking. Pull your Adidas back out. Tell me about that shoe you've been rocking. Because I had never seen it, or maybe I had, and I forgot about it. But that's clean.
Yeah. This is the Vic Lloyd Forum. It's called Chicago Goes Harder. It's pretty much his whole concept behind it was Chicago's a kind of like a blue collar city. And so his campaign was him with like a firefighter, with a cop, with a doctor, with a construction worker, with a teacher. So pretty much giving back to people that's not the cool possession, but they still, without them, the world wouldn't go evolve properly. So I thought it was cool. It's the second shoe with Adidas. He did one for All-Star Weekend 2020 in Chicago. Was sold out, and this one's selling pretty well too.
You said it came with like different straps or something, or
laces? Different straps. I should have brought them over, but it's different.
No, you're
straps. Good. Different straps. I think it's like a neon and a purple strap. They got some colorful laces, and I think it was retailed at maybe like $100. So it's not
a good collab. Then it's crazy hearing some like nonsense collab news in the news recently, and it's like good collabs do come out that aren't that crazy in that.
And it's rank enough. The same, I know you heard of Joe Fresh Goods. They partners. So Joe is at New Balance. They all got a shop together. It's him, it's Vic, Joe, and Terrell. They all got Fight Tiger in Chicago together.
Man, so I'm just going to put this out here. People always talk about New York with sneakers, like LA with sneakers. Like Chicago's been doing it with just like like niche, not completely niche, but just like smaller community shops, and just like people sleep on Chicago when it comes to sneakers. Sometimes I feel like it's the second biggest city on the East Coast, or the biggest city in the Midwest, but like top 5 biggest cities in the country. Like, there's a million people out there rocking Heat, and just like,
and Chicago has some OG shops. They got like, of course, Leaders. Leaders is huge. With Corey and Diego. Then we got Fly with Dave Jeff. And we got Juggernaut, we got St. Alfred's, we got Success. So there's a lot of shops that have been around 15, 20 years it's a staple, right? A lot of people I grew up on Leaders, right? So now to go talk to them and go to Leaders and get Vic Shoe that started from Leaders that got his own shop. So like Leaders and Fly is like the godfather of street and sneaker wear, and then everybody get their own shops, but they support 100%. Yeah,
it's crazy. And so you got like the shop front, but then like on the court or the people selling the shoes, obviously you have MJ and all that hoopla, the fantastic hoopla that was his career. But then even you have like the second son, Derrick Rose, coming in and keeping Adidas basketball revitalized and reviving it even a bit. Just like those two athletes, very different, very short, different careers, different in many ways, but just like their impact on sneakers in that city and like putting the city on the map. Like you had to be around that time. Young kids who only know Derrick Rose is slow and broken as a New York Knick. But there was a time where like me on the West Coast, he was must see TV. I was tuning in. It's Yes Network, right? In Chicago.
WGN.
Yeah, WGN. Yes is New York. My dumbass. WGN is like I had to tune into those games to see what Derrick Rose was doing, and just amazing.
Yeah, in his hike, I was doing my big party days, and he used to come to my parties before the big contract. After the big contract, he laid low, right? But before the big contract, he always be with him and his 2 big brothers. That's it. And they just come through, hang out, go home. Very cool dude. But after the big contract, of course, you just gotta change your life when you get big contract.
You now have amount of money you could probably start a country.
Yeah.
So you got to play smart with that. So I mean, that's a good piece of advice. So once you start getting bags, you might want to like straighten up. Not like Derrick Rose wasn't straightening up, but just like, have your ducks in a row as you start making money.
Yeah.
What's a piece of advice or two that you've gotten from a mentor or somebody in your life?
My bad.
No, you're good.
Out of nowhere. Shh.
We all have pets. You're all good. So that's a really good piece of advice. Thinking about, having your affairs in order as you start making money. Like what's a piece of advice that's helped you on your sneaker career to help you get to where you are? Like, what's not even the best, but just what's some helpful advice you've gotten to help get you where you are?
The same mentor that asked me, helped give me an internship at the sneaker shop, she told me a few things. She told me, one, it's more funny, like, Brennan, you need more than a nice smile to get through life, right? So later on, I was like, what do you mean by that? She really meant find a niche and become a subject matter expert on it. So whatever your niche is, find that and become, like, go crazy for it. If it's sneakers, learn everything you can, fun facts, or how you make a shoe. You want to go on the design side, you want to go on the marketing side, you want to go on the social side. Find your niche, become expert. So that's the one I took. Could I design sneakers? Yeah, I could, but that's not my strong side. Like the engineering side, the product side, storytelling, things like that. That's why I study it. I know a lot about sneaker history. I know about just the culture of it. So that's why I've been doing the last, part of 15 years, just learning, making connections and doing webinars, volunteering at UICs, anything I can just get in front of people, just talk, no matter what the topic is, just to network. That's what I've been doing for the last, about 15 years.
It's treated you well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So it's kind
what's crazy is like, I feel like people sit on their hands sometimes and they think like, oh, I have the knowledge. Cool. Well, like a lot of people know a crap ton about shoes. So like, what else can you bring to the table to make you a subject matter expert? So for you, it's not just only the shoes, but just like, how do shoes work on the internet? And that's a really layman way of saying it or wrapping it up. But just like, you have to have sneakers plus something nowadays. You just can't have a love for sneakers. We all love it, but you have to have a skill alongside with it. And what's really powerful with your story is you have the entrepreneurship like spirit within you. You have the education, and you also have the drive to network. You're not sitting on your hands. You're out here trying to talk to people. So you brought up networking and talking to people. I saw that you're doing some work with Yellow Brick Sneakers. Yeah. I saw a cool little tag on your story. Tell me more about that. Some kind of seminar or something, webinar?
Yeah, it's a webinar. Well, Yellow Brick is pretty much a online online courses, right? They have like specialty courses like sneakers, fashion, streetwear, gaming, product design, things like that. Global sports. So with my background in global sports and also sneakers, I became an ambassador. So the webinars, pretty much, they thought it'd be kind of cool because you don't meet a lot of people that actually work at Adidas corporate. So that might be someone's dream job, right? So he's like, let's do a webinar, how to land your dream job. And so you could give them like tips for interviewing or how to do your resume or questions to ask in interviews or how to search for a job. So, I mean, I don't have all the answers, but that's why I can tell them what I know and then leave it open for any questions they might have, and I answer to the best of my ability. This is my second one. I did one in March. About 500 people tapped in, so hopefully that many or maybe 1,000 tap in this time. And from there, maybe I can help someone get the job they want or at least start the path. So, yeah.
So what's interesting is that I've ran into this problem in my own job searches. So let's say you're on Adidas.com, Adidas North America, you're looking through stuff. Mm-hmm. You probably don't understand what the job description, like the nomenclature of what they're asking for and like what you can do might get blurry. So like I can do XYZ, Adidas is saying it or another brand is saying it. The same XYZ is in a different language. Like how do you help someone find, I'm trying to how to better describe this. Maybe you kind of get what I'm saying. Just like it's hard as hell to read the description sometimes and figure out what the job is.
I got the perfect example for you. This probably will help somebody out there. Before I got hired at Adidas, I applied at Reebok, which is the baby company of Adidas, 3 times. I got to the last stage 3 times and got rejected 3 times. So I was like, the email was like, oh, we love you, but we want someone internally. So I'm like, okay, internally. That's what only word they said was internal, right? So me looked on LinkedIn. I found someone that worked and on the branding side, on the product side, reached out, asked can we hop on a call for a few minutes. So I asked questions like, how did you get hired there? What did you do? What's tips? You like, make sure your resume aligns with the description. So I was like, okay, what does that mean? Like, whatever they're asking for, make sure if you did it, you might have did it and you worded it differently. So I went through my resume and I said, okay, if it's concept to design, I said, okay, well, if I did ABC, that is concept to design. So I just changed it in my resume. Okay, expert in concept design, whatever it is, right? And then I make sure it's clean, make sure no typos, the regular stuff. And then I saved it and I reapplied for another position. And it hit, right? A couple of days later, and it was like, yeah, I love your resume. And then the first screening call. So at the end of the call, you have any questions? I do. Why did you pick me? Because at that time, I don't got nothing to lose. Like, why did you pick me of 100 people, right? He said, yeah, that's a good question. Well, your resume stood out to us. Like, you had the keywords in the resume is very clean. And then you're an engineer at Foot Locker, so you got the experience. And I understand, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. And that's when I knew, like, I could do a webinar to help someone else out. Because no point in me figuring this out and not sharing it, right? Like, because it's not going to make me any different. Like, I have my job. So it's like, you're going to take my job because I told you a secret. It's not a secret. It's kind of like...
So many gatekeepers. And the fact that you just said that, like, say that one more time. Because you have a job already doesn't mean you can't help somebody figure it out.
Yeah. So that's what, like, all right, fine. Because at the time, I guess also I had the leverage that I did have a job that was a dope job. So like, okay, but I know that's not my end goal. I want to be on the product side. So I'm gonna take the lead. I don't care how many times I fail. I can get back up, keep going. So I kept going, and then I got that one chance, and then every interview I just impressed them, and then I got the offer. Yeah.
The power of wording. So, I mean, no shade to Adidas. I mean, every place gives their own reasoning why you don't get accepted somewhere, even after you've done well. Internal has nothing to do with your language being incorrect on your resume. That's just what they were saying. That's a beautiful story. Like, if anybody takes anything from this, find somebody, seek them, get the answer, adjust. Because that didn't take more than 10 minutes to find a person, 15 minutes to find a person.
That's gonna be put on my webinar. How to find someone, what to search for, the keyword, and how small the world is. The one person I found that responded, yeah, we can hop on a call. She works at the same gym as my fiance. Is that the great? The same gym as my fiance. She's like, yeah, I go to the gym on this street. I was like, what time? Because my fiance goes every morning at 6 a.m. Oh, no, I go in the afternoon, but I'm probably seeing him crossing. Small world.
Very small.
Yeah,
and again, if you sit on your hands, you don't open your mouth, you don't move.
Mean, it could be a little awkward. It could be a little like whatever, but just get over that. And like you don't have to do a FaceTime. Just like talk on the phone. And like, can you help me? And like, well, I can help you do this. And just be honest. Like, I want this. Can you help me do this? If not, can you point me in the right direction? Right. So she told me the tip about the resume. So I swear to you, I changed probably maybe 10 words. I changed like my overall objectives. And then I went through my duties at my current job and just made it more
in line with the
description. Yeah. And also go to your previous course. How do you know what they're asking for? I literally just take a chunk of the description and just Google it. If it asks for like concept of design, you put concept of design and actually what exactly is that? And you have to be honest with yourself because someone told me a long time ago, another piece of advice, if you lie, you got to tell the same lie every time. So if you like, it's the difference between lying and kind of like massaging the truth. Like, oh yeah, I did this. Like if you did it one time, you did it, right?
Yeah.
So you just got to know if they ask. So tell me that time you did it. You got to know what you did and make sure they can fill out 5-minute response. That's it, man. Because we all figure to make it, man.
That's just so powerful.
Yeah.
It's random. I mean, it's random in the best way. 10 words can change.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make money off of 10 words.
Make money off of 10 words. Yeah. So that's I mean, true story. Yeah.
I'm just happy for you to have the resolve, because a lot of people would get a job at Foot Locker or somewhere and be, oh, this is the shit. Like I could do this for, I'm going to do this for, I've arrived. I've mission accomplished. And it's like, well, it's not always the job you have that's cool. Isn't always the mission accomplished. It's like, it's the step on the mission.
Yeah. Foot Locker is a great company, but I knew the end goal was I want to work on product. And can I be a product manager at Foot Locker? Sure. But I was still working on other people's product. With Adidas, I could do start to finish. I'm building the product out. So, and then we can send it over to whoever, right?
It's your baby.
Yeah, it's my baby. And I worked on it. My portfolio will grow like crazy. And then.
And you get insurance.
Yeah. It'd be more, it's your baby. Like you said, it's your baby and you take more care. And it's like you get up for a reason, right? Like sometimes being an engineer, just me, this person talking. Sometimes you feel like a robot. You do the same thing every day. You know, auto drive and just do it. Something breaks, you know how to fix it. We're proud of it. Every day is different, right? Every single day is different, and which I like. It's like every sneaker has a story. Every product has a story too. So that's what I like about it. And that's what's talking to your page, like sneaker history. Like you give appreciation to like someone like Glenn Robinson, which was a beast. But a lot of people don't know Glenn Robinson. They know his son, but when he was in Milwaukee, buckets. Like I remember him. Like he could never beat the Bulls, but he held his own.
Yes, he did. And I appreciate that, because we always try to not be like off kilter, but this maybe some under the radar stuff, maybe something you've forgotten, maybe something you haven't seen in a while, and you go, oh, that was good. That was fun. I remember that. You remember Big Dog giving this the work, but
yeah,
I think we need to end here because it's the most corny, one-liner there is. But it's like when you love what you do, it's not a job, and it becomes less of just like an everyday grind, like you were saying. So yeah, I feel like you've successfully found a way to just find your happiness. I mean, that's really is a beautiful thing to just not be set in what you're doing and just complacent. So power to you, Brennan, man. That's a great story. Go ahead and tell the people where they can find you on the internet if you want to share where you are. And
of course, you can always find me on Instagram at Wall Street B-Nick. So that's Wall Street B-N-I-C.
Man, so much fun having you here. Brennan Nichols interview episode. This is wrapped. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great day, morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening. But thanks for being here. Peace.
Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, I wanted to thank you for listening to the Sneaker History Podcast. We just launched our new merch, including tees, stickers, keychains, and a bunch of other pieces you can grab to show your support for the podcast. You can purchase it now through our companion site, sittingtreasure.com. You can also get access to more episodes of the podcast by joining our Discord community at patreon.com/sneakerhistory. Plus, we've got a bunch of other fun things going on in the community, including trivia nights, giveaways, access to sneaker raffles from around the world, release announcements, and my favorite, just good people helping good people get the sneakers they want. Plus, we're not bought by advertisers, investors, or other big money. I'm confident in saying this is the best sneaker community I've ever been a part of. We've also teamed up with a few partners to offer our supporters discounts. You can find some in the links for this episode and even more in our Discord. Give us a try, and if you don't enjoy it, you can always cancel the membership at any time. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to be on the receiving end of someone showing appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace. Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, do us a solid and head over to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon Music, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we have even more video content coming soon. Speaking of new content, we have an amazing community of sneaker enthusiasts that hang out in our Sneaker History Discord on a daily basis. While sneakers is a connection point that brought us all together, we've all discovered countless shared passions that we have in common with each other. We recently launched a couple of new podcasts directly from our community. One of them is a Formula One podcast. If you're an F1 fan like me, the Exhaust Notes podcast is your weekly fix of Formula One fun. It's hosted by myself, Rohit Malhotra, and Todd Yates. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I've been wearing fitted hats for years and collecting my favorite teams since I was a little leaguer. It has been awesome to see so many new fans getting into fitteds in recent years. Crown and Stitch is our new talk show about fitted hats with Dexter, Keith, and myself, where we talk about fitted hats, snapbacks, throw in some obscure hats because we all kind of like some funky stuff once in a while, don't we? Copping, collecting, and so much more. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Hit the links in the show notes for this episode to give our new shows a listen, and be on the lookout for more new podcasts dropping soon. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.